Hello! I'd like to welcome you to the Laramy-K Optician Works Training Center, where today we're doing something just a little bit different. I am trying to reach anyone who is thinking about becoming an optician. Maybe you're about to leave high school. Maybe you're thinking about a job change. Maybe you're an older person, retired, and thinking about picking up some part-time work. Well, let's talk about all of the things that make a good optician. And let's find out if it's for you. Just been running through this whiteboard in my head, and I'm thinking, hey, you know what? This is a pretty good lesson we've got here. So hang in there with me. So you want to be an optician.
But right now you're feeling a bit like Alice, tumbling down the rabbit hole.
Well, this is a pretty darned good exercise for you to decide whether it's going to be any good for you. For each of the 6 questions, I need you to look deep inside your heart and answer truthfully. Because you could be facing 1 to 30 years of a job that you love, a job you don't mind going to, which is pretty much the goal for lots of folks, or 30 years of pure and absolute misery for you, your employer, and your customers.
You just go in every day and do it really half-assed. That's the American way.
Let's try to avoid that before it even begins. And to make sure that doesn't happen, let's go ahead and use our checklist. Go and grab a piece of scrap paper. Put the numbers 1 through 6 on it. And next to each of the numbers, put a Y and an N. Anytime you're working through the list and you get to an N, then opticianry is not for you. What we're aiming for is 6 Ys. Now you may wear glasses, so you've been to the big box store, the great independent shop, the smaller OD's independent office, bought glasses, you've watched what those folks do, and you think to yourself, I think I could do that. Looks like a pretty good job. Surroundings are nice. It's air conditioning. I'm inside. The hours are good. Do be aware that there is a difference between an optician, a true optician, and a frame stylist. If you think that the job of the optician is just being really good with fashion, if that's what you're thinking in your head, it's all about the frame and color, and you think that you should be working for Vogue or Vanity Fair.
And then finally you have black hush puppies, which are totally retro, which I love. You put a really good package together.
That's not really the criteria. This stuff is. It's important, but that's not everything. In fact, there's a heck of a lot more to being an optician than a frame stylist. So, number 1, what makes a good optician? Answering in your heart, yes or no. Are you good with your hands? That's simple. Can you sew even a little bit? Can you pull a needle through a couple of times and tack something together? Or better yet, can you knit or crochet? Have you ever built a model when you were a kid? Model plane, model car, turned out okay? Good indicator that you're pretty good with your hands and small parts. Look at a pair of glasses. Lots of tiny little parts there. Jewelry. You ever repair a broken piece of jewelry? If you're out at dinner and somebody's gold chain gets all twisted up, do they hand it to you to straighten it out? Have you ever tried even to change your own watch battery or Fitbit? All good indicators. You might be a decent optician. If you are in fact the last person that anyone goes to for someone who's good with your hands, well, you answer no, stop watching the video, and find something else to do. Number 2, do you have at least some mechanical ability? Do you know the difference between a nut and a bolt? If I have a hammer and a set of pliers sitting on a table and I asked for the pliers, would you know which one of those it was? There are a lot of tools that you're going to need to learn how to use. A lot. Very special. You need to be able to do that. All different kinds of things you're going to have in your hands. You need some mechanical ability. Again, these are connected. If you've ever repaired, probably the best example to repair a piece of jewelry, maybe a ring that had one of its prongs pulled over and you found some good small pliers and pushed it back in place. Good indicator you might be okay. Maybe you checked a yes there. Number 3, do you have patience? And wow, look inside your heart here. Do you have patience? Do you stick with something difficult to the end? I just said you've got a whole bunch of different tools. Those tools are specialty items for eyeglass repair. There are eyeglass repairs that may take you 10 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour. You may have a customer that will want to spend an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours with you choosing their next frame. You may have a job if you start edging lenses to fit into a frame that will take you the better part of the day to finally get it exactly right. If you do not have patience, if you give up easily at this first sign of resistance, opticianry is not for you. You got to know there, go and find something else to do. Can you make change? A very serious question. We don't use cash in this world anymore. Everything's a credit card. I know people are hiring out. They say, these kids today, they can't even make change. Well, no, they can't. They've never held cash in their life. But it links to basic math. Can you do the most basic children's arithmetic with a calculator? Can you add, subtract, multiply, divide? Do you understand decimal value, decimal places? Percent. Do you remember how to change from percent to decimal and back? And your most basic fractions. If you cannot do that, look in your heart. Be honest with yourself. If you cannot do those things, if you are not willing to learn how to do those things, you cannot be an optician. Answer no and move on. Number 5, highlighted in red. I'm wearing red. We have a red flag. This one's pretty important. Look deep inside your heart. Can you work with people? You don't have to be crazy over-the-top people person. You don't have to be the ultimate social butterfly. But you have got to be able to work with your coworkers and work with your customers.
Because everybody is important on a real team. Take the time to find out what people are about, and you will be glad you did. Listen to a friend, Mr. T.
We have talked about this before. If service is below you, if you are sitting at the dispensing table and Mrs. Knickerbottoms tells you, oh, go and get that blue one, the bottom row there on the third, and your first instinct is to punch Mrs. Knickerbottoms in the face, opticianry isn't for you.
Yo, Serge, can you get my friend espresso?
You want to get a lemon twist?
Yeah, sure, if it's no bother.
No, don't be stupid.
You've got to be able to work with people. Super important. Number 6. Do you have an eye for detail, symmetry, color, fashion? Guys and gals, you have to know what is the latest fashion, the latest look. You're looking at your magazines online, your trade magazines. Guys, you'll end up being able to recognize handbags across the parking lot. Color, if you are color blind, opticianry may not be the easiest job for you. Symmetry, if people are constantly reminding you that your shirt is buttoned wrong, maybe opticianry isn't the place for you. Details. Can you notice, like I just mentioned up here, lots of tiny little parts to a pair of glasses. Have to have an eye for detail, finishing work. If your car looks like the bottom of a dumpster and you dress like an unmade bed, hey, I don't have a problem with that, but you're probably not going to make a very good optician. Great starter checklist before you ever begin your journey to become an optician. If you knocked this out of the park and you had 6 heck yeses there, then it is time to hit the Optician Works website, sign up for a membership, and get started on building your career and your optician skill set. Thank you so much for watching. If you're watching us on Facebook, please do give us a like. If you're watching us on YouTube, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button down there in the corner. It really does help us out. And please make sure that every lens that you sell as an optician comes from Laramy-K. I will see you again next week. And you wear glasses perhaps. Today, I'm going to talk to folks high school career, high school time, into stores and gotten to, what?